These are things that I experienced in the mental hospital. We're gonna start off really strong and talk about the time I peed my pants in the mental hospital bed. So I had a one-on-one, which is like a babysitter, and I was sleeping. I was like half asleep and I really had to pee. Like I really had to go. Like, you know when you could feel it in your kidney? Yeah. So I was like half asleep and I woke up a little bit and I just like peed my pants. Like I don't even remember what was happening. Like I just like woke up and just like I felt something wet in my pants. Woke up and I went to my one-on-one and I was like, I think I peed my pants. She was like, oh, it happens. Does it? But I had to change and then sleep in my own pee, so. I was friends with a girl who tried to kill her brother. Like, people go there for like whatever reason, either that's like being homicidal or like anger issues or like depression or whatever. There was a few people who were there for being homicidal. Like, I'm talking like trying to kill their grandma. They weren't allowed to have like marker caps because you could like scratch your skin off with it and like self-harm with it. And this one girl, she hid a marker cap in her vent and then the fire alarm went off, I guess because it started a fire in the vent. I don't know. The hospital kept us in the building and then the firemen came. I remember the first time I went to one, I walked in and there was just like a girl screaming, like just like in the movies. I was roommates with a girl that had a crush on me and I went to go to the bathroom and I like looked over at her side of the room and she had underwear laying on the floor and there was like pee stains. Like, I get it, like you're not gonna be hygienic if you're depressed, but like to leave that on the floor is crazy. The food there was actually diabolical. It was like prison food. Like, it was horrible. I also had this schizophrenic roommate, no offense to people with schizophrenia, but we had like a chalkboard wall and she would draw her like hallucinations on the wall. It was actually pretty terrifying. Someone actually got lice in the mental hospital. Never been more terrified.
Guys, get ready with me to glow up in like 5 minutes because I think my boyfriend is trying to surprise me for Valentine's Day. Okay guys, let me give you the whole rundown. So earlier today, my boyfriend told me, he's like, hey, like I'm not gonna be on my phone like later tonight because me and my roommates made this bet. They're doing this bet where they're gonna check who's not gonna be able to check their phone for the longest. So if I'm not on my phone like later tonight, like it's because I'm doing this bet with my roommates. And I was like, okay, weird, but I guess whatever. Like, you know what? I'm also addicted to my phone, so I guess it doesn't hurt. But obviously, I'm not dumb. Like, my boyfriend has not asked me to be his Valentine's yet. And mind you, Valentine's Day is 2 days away. First off, I'm like, this is a little bit weird. And mind you, the way that he texted me was kind of weird. He's like, oh, like, yeah, like, we just want to do this bet because, like, you know, my screen time is cooked. And I'm like, you never use the word cooked. Like, this is weird, but whatever. And I get out of my class today, right? Because I have a night class and it ends at around 5:30. I get out of my class and I see that his location is set as not found. I'm like, first of all, I'm not dumb, okay? Like, there's a difference between location not found versus location not available. And honestly, if your phone is turned off, your location is going to be location not available, not location not found. And mind you, that was the same for Life 360 and Find My Location. So I was like, okay, see you guys in like 10 minutes. Honestly, if my boyfriend is not surprising me, this is gonna be a really embarrassing video to watch back. But I'm like 98% sure that he's on his way right now. Like, maybe I'm delusional because we're long distance, but I truly believe that he's on his way and he's like getting me a gift or something. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like my reasoning is pretty sound because like there's no way that he would put no location found if he's not coming to see me. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would he do it the day before, you know? The original plan that he told me was that we're probably gonna have to FaceTime on Valentine's Day because like he has work. So I was like, oh, okay, like I really didn't mind. But then now I'm like, I'm so sure that he's gonna see me, guys. Like, I'm so sure. Currently 8:16, I'm starting to lose hope a little bit, not gonna lie. On his Life 360, it shows that he turned off his location at 4:16. And when I did the math, I was like, okay, like it takes about 2 hours and like 30 minutes to get to, you know, from his university to here. And it's been a while. That's been 4 hours, right guys? Like, that's 4 hours. 6, 7, 8. So we're gonna see how this goes, because right now I'm losing hope. If this ends up going not the way I expect it to, thank you guys for attempting to glow up with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Spoiler alert. Hey guys, get ready with me while I talk about why I no longer talk to my biological dad. Before I start, I just want to say this is not a sad story, this is a good thing, and I probably wouldn't be here today if this was not done. So if you guys didn't see my other video, basically I just talked about how my dad called my school and snitched on me for all these things I didn't actually do. So I ended up getting the most detentions and referrals at the school. So because of that, I was super depressed. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, I was so sad. Like, I just hated everything. I got my phone taken away. I just literally had nothing. I was 12, by the way. So he noticed that I was acting depressed, which, wow, you're such a good father for noticing that I was sad. Like, love you so much for that. I'm kidding, obviously. But one day he picked me up from school. It was after I served my detention, and then we got home. He brought me to his room, and we like sat like freaking professionally. Like, I don't know what the hell this was. Like, I was literally just got back from school and got back from my mom's house. I didn't notice that I had been acting like more sad. When I tell you, I dreaded going to my dad's house. Like, every other Monday was the worst days of my life because I had to go back to my dad's house. And some people were asking, like, why didn't my mom do anything? Well, first of all, I was so young. Like, I didn't realize that it was like that bad. I just thought that moms were naturally nicer because my stepmom was also super sweet to me. The thing is, if I were to tell my mom everything that was going on, like, and we took it to court or whatever, like, nothing would really get settled because he wasn't doing anything like physically wrong to me. Back to the story, he asked me, why are you so depressed, when I was just sitting in his room with him. I was like, I'm not depressed, like, I'm usually happy. And then I was like, when I'm at my mom's house, I'm usually happy when I'm at my mom's house. And I told him, I was like, actually, I don't know, I just feel a lot happier at my mom's house. And that was like me realizing that. And no joke, he says, get in the car. I said, okay. So I just like got in the car with like whatever I had already, like on, like my backpack on my back. Like, I didn't think I had to pack my belongings to go live at my mom's house forever. I didn't think that was the case. The way I'm telling it to you is exactly how it happened. There was no extra conversation. That was it. Unless my 12-year-old brain can't remember, that was exactly what happened. From what I just said, I'm sure you can assume what happened. He just took me to my mom's house, dropped me off, and that was that. Well, there was a slight conversation, and this like actually broke me. Like, I got out of the car and I grabbed my stuff. I was just assuming he was dropping me back off because he was upset at me. And so I was like, okay, bye, I love you. And he said, no, you don't, and tried to shut the trunk while I was still grabbing my stuff. Like, bro almost killed me and killed my soul. Like, bro killed my spirit and almost crushed my skull, bro. Obviously, that's really bad, but what's worse, and this makes me cry just like thinking about it, is when he texted my brother telling my brother he can't come back either. Well, actually, before I go on about that, my brother did have this phase where after I had gotten like kicked out or whatever, I didn't know what was going on. Like, my dad didn't text me anything. I thought I couldn't text my dad. I also had my phone taken away, and he still had it. Keep that in mind. My dad had my phone. My mom bought me the phone though, so that kind of became a problem, but he didn't want me to come back, but he still had my phone, and I still had a lot of stuff at his house. So to let you know, my mom eventually got the phone back, but I never got any of my stuff back. So 5 years later, all my stuff's still at his house. Anyways, after my dad quote unquote kicked me out, my brother hated me, and I didn't know why. And I kept asking him. He wouldn't talk to me. He thought I was like evil. And then eventually my dad kicked him out too, or like texted him like, just don't come back, like blah, 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 whatever. And then my brother finally told me, well, I was like, so why did you hate me so long? And he was like, well, he told us you did something really bad, but I forgot. You forgot? So I literally have no idea what it could be that like makes them hate me so much, because like, not even a grandparent will reach out. Like, I feel like that's pretty bizarre. After my brother started liking me again, he told me that they just threw away all of my stuff, like including my freaking money if he didn't steal it for himself, because I had like $300. They're like, I know you're lying, bro. I know you're lying. Like, 300. The craziest part is that the only time he reached out was texting my brother, not even me. Bro can't even work up the courage to text me. He texted my brother and he said that our grandpa died, our dog died, and they moved to a $100 million house. Girl, I know he had money, but I didn't know he had that much money. And we did live in a really nice house, but it was nowhere near $100 million. Like, I know you're lying. And just so you know, I hope this doesn't dox me. Okay, I'm not gonna dox myself, but we lived in the same neighborhood as like a really, really famous YouTuber, not Mr. Beast, a different famous YouTuber. And I would always talk about, oh my gosh, can like I be in one of his videos? Like, he does stuff with neighbors a lot. Like, can I please be in one of his videos? And my dad was like, no, like, you're never gonna be famous. First of all, go look at my TikTok account. And second of all, when he said he moved to a $100 million house, he sent a YouTube video from that YouTuber and said, it's this one. And the video was called most expensive house in blah, blah, blah. And just for the record, after he kicked me and my brother out, a few years later, he became friends with this YouTuber. Like, friends with him. Like, there is a picture floating on the internet of them two sitting in like a Lamborghini together. Like, how petty can you be? Like, the revenge is crazy. So yeah, hopefully this YouTuber sees this video and sees my last name and recognizes it and realizes who he's friends with. I don't think they're bros. I think it was a one-time thing. Like, come on, bro. That's basically the story. The hardest thing for me is actually blaming like my dad himself, because I know he has a lot of mental issues and he like grew up not in a very good childhood and he suffers clearly from narcissism. So like, I feel like I just can't really blame him. Like, I know deep down that he cares, and that's like what sucks, because I can't just like hate him, you know? Also, it really sucks not being able to see my siblings on his side, because we were really close. That's the end of the story. Let me know if you want specific ones from when I lived with him. They're crazy, and some of my friends can vouch.
Get ready with me for day one of never seeing him again. As a lot of you guys have guessed, me and my boyfriend did break up, and last night was probably one of the hardest things that either of us have ever had to do. This is what I mean when I say don't trust social media, because our relationship has never been easy, and it's really hard to accept that when you're young and in love, but there comes a point where it's just too much, and honestly neither of us deserved the relationship that we were in. This is his shirt. Last night I was supposed to give him everything back, but I just needed a shirt. And last night was so hard because it was so good. You know, you love someone when in the end you both can just be mature and set aside your differences and wish each other the best and have like one last good everything, you know? Sorry, just give me a second. I need a cry break. I just woke up. I'm not allowed to cry anymore. But I got home at 2 a.m. because neither of us could walk away. Bruh. At the end of the night, after literally like 5 hours of just crying into each other's arms, like, you feel the love so much. It's so hard to accept that you can't keep going. We've tried before. We broke up about a year ago for like 4 months, and we both really got our stuff together, but at the end of the day, there just seems to always be a pattern. We're both just at the point in our lives where we can't risk it again. Like, yes, what if, but we just can't put ourselves through any more of that. And it's so hard because like you want to change, like I want to change, like I want to keep it going. I don't want anyone else. I'm genuinely being so for real. I do not want anyone else. I don't want to talk to anyone. I want him, you know? But at the end of the day, we were both trying to force each other to be the person that we obviously weren't. Especially me. I struggle a lot in relationships. I always have. And this was my first everything, you know? Like, he was literally my first everything. So I'm trying not to feel so much self-blame right now, but literally right now I just feel like it's all my fault, you know? At the end of the day, you know, it takes two people to burn a relationship to the ground, and it's never been easy. In the 2 years we've known each other, it really hasn't been easy. And it makes it so hard to let go because the goods are so good, but the bads are so bad. You hang on to the good things for so long, but there becomes a point where the pain it's not worth it anymore. My boyfriend broke up with me about a week ago, and honestly, I'm so thankful he did. I would have never done it, and it really is true in the saying, loving someone is letting someone go, because we both just have to let each other go so we can be happy. Yes, we make each other happy, but we also just hold each other back from so much. Not purposely, it's out of love, but we did just really love each other so much that we just kind of destroyed ourselves, you know? I have absolutely no ill will towards him. We both wished each other the best. It's just so hard because we didn't play the future card. We just said if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, you know? But it's just so weird thinking that, like, that could be the last time everything, you know. I never thought we'd have to say goodbye. That's what was so hard. And last time we broke up, you know, we just said see you later because we knew it was for each other, but we just can't keep going. And that's the reality. I wanted it to be him and he wanted it to be me, but at the end of the day, there's gonna be someone out there for you, regardless if it is gonna be me or not. Because I think it's just hard for us losing a person that's been through everything with them. The last 2 years of my life has been the hardest years of my life I've ever had, and he's been there through all of it. And same for him. We've just cried to each other. We laughed with each other. Like, he knows everything about me. I have a lot of stuff that goes on, and it's just scary to think that there's like not a person out there that knows me the way he did. You know, I don't want to restart. And I know I didn't have to come on and post any of this or talk about any of this, but I know how hard it is to leave toxic relationships because we've never been able to. I need to heal, he needs to heal, and I want to document that process, whether it just helps me or it helps other people. This is something that's real, and it's something that people ignore and overlook. It's gonna be a roller coaster. Some days are gonna be really, really hard, and some days are gonna be really good and distraction filled. And I have so many big things coming, and I'm gonna look at them as healers and not distractions. And I just hit 1 million yesterday, and that's the day me and my boyfriend left. He's been there from the start. He's been there from before all of this, and it's always just been that like marker that we were like so ready for. And I hit 1 million yesterday and we were both so happy. Anyway, I'm ready and I'm gonna try and clean today. I just really hope you guys are understanding my emotions right now. It's gonna be so on and off. Some days I might be in my healing era, some days I might be in my sad girl era, and I have no idea how I'm gonna cope with this yet. But I am gonna be honest on my platform because this is genuinely one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through, and I know there are so many people going through it. Especially at this age, toxicity is so hard to walk away from, but at the end of the day, everyone can do it, and I want you guys to see me come out of this a better person. I love him with my whole heart. I'm sorry, the waterworks. But I could not be more thankful that we were both mature enough to last night to have one last good night and just say our goodbyes and show each other the love that we've always had and be able to leave with no regrets. I feel like we both got the closure we needed, and now it's time to start healing. So hopefully this helped you. Maybe it didn't. I'm gonna go clean my room and stuff. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace out. Love you. Bye.
Story time of the time my entire high school saw my boobs and a video of me in the shower that I had no idea existed. So that I do not get sued, I will be changing names from the story, but some of you weird fuckers who did this to me in high school follow me, so I hope that made your stomach drop. I do unfortunately have to give a trigger warning for child porn. If you understand what I'm saying, I was underage when this happened to me. This all started my 8th grade year at my first year ever in public school on New Year's Eve. I was with 4 of my closest girlfriends, but only one of them needs to really be talked about during this story. We are going to call her Ella. So the end of the night rolls around, we were all having a good time, and I go to take a shower, which I feel like is a pretty normal thing to do. So now we're gonna skip ahead a year to my freshman year of high school. Like I said, that was in 8th grade. This will make sense in a second. So it's my freshman year, it's right at the beginning of the school year. I'm pretty petrified, as I feel like most freshmen in high school are. I had just made like the varsity cheerleading team. I was trying to make friends. It was very overwhelming, like for that age. Cheer practice one day, it's one of our first practices of the season. And one of my teammates comes up to me, and I will forever love her for letting me know before somebody else did. And she's like, Kendall, this is gonna, like, why is there a video of you going around of you in the shower? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've never taken a video of myself in the shower. I was like 15 at the time. I just remember looking at her and my heart dropping and being like, what are you talking about? There's no way. It can't be me. This must be someone else. And she was like, no, Kendall, like I'm 100% it was you. We were at my birthday dinner last night, and one of the boys that was sitting at the table with us airdropped it to the entire table at Chili's. This is where it all started. I didn't really know what to do at this point. I was petrified of my coach finding out, of my mom. I'm like flipping through every file in my head. I'm like, did I do that? But like, why would I do that? I was so fucking confused. Still being extremely confused. I didn't want to like lose my place on this team. I continued on with practice, went about my day until the next day at school. I remember sitting in class. It was a normal day. I was trying not to think about it too much because I was like, she has to have me confused with someone else. There's no way that it's me. That would be until every single person who had their airdrop on in the classroom got an airdrop except for me, and the entire class just turned around and just fucking stared at me, and I knew exactly what was going on. And I have never been so... I still sweat to this day talking about it. I remember not asking the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, anything. I just ran out of the room, ran to the bathroom, and I remember sitting on the bathroom floor just absolutely sobbing, and I'm pretty positive that I stayed there for the rest of the day on the bathroom floor. So I left school that day. It was at this point where I just started getting absolutely bombarded with texts from my friends, people that I wasn't really friends with, and I didn't know what to do because I had never seen this video. I didn't remember taking this video. I was convinced that there was just no way it was me. It had to be someone else. I truly don't think I've ever been so confused in a situation still to this day in my entire life. So the next day at school, I'm sitting at lunch and I didn't even want to be there. I was begging my mom not to make me go to school. She's like, why do you not want to go to school? Like, what's wrong with you? You have to go to cheer, like blah, blah, blah. And this video gets airdropped in the school cafeteria. And this is when things really, if you didn't think they were going downhill already, this is where it starts to go downhill. Again, I run out of the room and I go and I sit on the bathroom floor at my school and just sob for the rest of the day until cheer practice. And this is the day where I knew that it was just getting bad and that everything was kind of about to go to shit. And this was when my cheer coach pulled me aside at practice and was like, why am I having so many people come to me telling you that there's a video of you naked in the shower? Also, still at this point, I had still never seen this video. Nobody would show it to me. It was like people were being so mean about it that they just liked that they could see it and like hold it over my head and not have me see it. Like I had no idea still. I was still fucking confused. So at this point, I just absolutely break down to my cheer coach. I still love and talk to her to this day. And she sent me home, and at that point I was like, I think I need to tell my mom because I honest to God don't ever remember taking this video. I like need to tell somebody what's going on because this is like not okay. Another thing that I forgot to mention that happened to me is the day when I left the cafeteria and I was running to the bathroom, there was a boy who was a couple years older than me and he had a bottle of water in his hand and he threw water at me and asked if I needed to go take a shower. And like it was just so bad. And so when my mom came and picked me up, I had a mental breakdown and she didn't let me like go to school for a few days until we figured out what was going on or like what to do. At this point, I did know who was spreading the video the most. It was it was like a guy I had like talked to in like literally the 8th grade, and then another one was a guy that I like was very involved with from the 8th grade, like really all throughout high school because I'm that fucking stupid. I forgave him for all of this. Like I am so mentally ill, it hurts. So the only thing that my mom and I really knew to do at this point was to just go to the school and see if like the principal or someone on the board, like, and this, as you can imagine, is so mortifying to go to the board about this, but we hadn't seen the video. We didn't know if it was actually me or not in it. Like, we didn't know what to do. At this point, I just wanted to move, like, out of state. Like, I was like, I want to switch schools. I was so fucking mortified and embarrassed without even seeing the video that you just wait. So my mom calls the principal, and surely enough, when she gets on the phone with him, he happens to tell her, oh my goodness, I was gonna call you at the end of the day today. I needed to talk to you about this. Like, it had already made its way to him. Like, everyone knew about this. I swear to God, everyone. He had another parent, I don't know who, send it to him, and so now I'm mortified that the principal has either seen my boobs or like some other girl's boobs that I don't fucking know. So we go in for a meeting at the school with the principal, some people from the board, like the superintendent, the lady at the front desk for some reason, the security guard that was like always outside the front door of our high school, my mom and I, like so many people in this fucking room. And keep in mind, I still had not seen this fucking video. So we're in this meeting and they start playing the video and I immediately knew what was going on. Every single puzzle piece connected in my head in that moment and I just broke down sobbing. So remember at the beginning of the video when I told you I had those 4 girlfriends, New Year's Eve, I took a shower at the end of the night? One of those weird ass bitches, what did I call her? Ella, I think? She decided to like stick her phone above the shower curtain and take a video of me showering, held on to that video for 7 or 8 months, and then one day on like a random fucking school day just decided to just blast it everywhere, sent it to one of my ex-boyfriends. He's the one who like airdropped it at Chili's. Like everything made sense, and I have never been so angry and like felt so upset at like so many people in my life. Also, mind you, there was nothing that happened between me and Ella. We were fine. We were literally still friends whenever this video started going around. Oh shit, hang on. So I will forever think she is like one of the absolute weirdest people I've ever met in my entire life for this. So at this point I had 2 options, either deal with it or I could press charges, but here was the gag about that. If I pressed charges on Ella, I had to press charges on my ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend that I had talked to in the 8th grade, everyone who airdropped it, everyone who was like, I was gonna have to press charges against like upwards of like 10 to 15-year-olds. Like I just didn't want to put people on a sex offender list at that early on in your life, like I couldn't do it, so I didn't press charges. So that's pretty much all that happened. I just kind of decided to suck it up and leave it alone. After I understood what the video was and what was happening, that was when I could, you know, go to people and be like, hey, like, actually this is what happened, like she's a fucking weirdo. And she ended up, I want to say either like moving like a lot of counties away or like moving out of state or something, but like the tables completely turned. But people still are weird about it to me, which is just bizarre. I unfortunately couldn't, you know, go to everyone who had seen that video because it was literally hundreds of people. And, you know, tell my side of the story and like, hey, like I didn't do that on purpose, like I never knew that was taken, and I was also 15 in that video. So I shit you not, one of the last times I was home in Georgia, I was out at an Athens bar, and a guy who I did not even know, he apparently went to a surrounding high school of mine, came up to me and was like, yo, I remember that video of you in the shower, like when we were in high school. And I just looked at him and was like, you're a fucking weirdo, because I was 15 years old and I have never seen a man look so stunned, but like that, like what the fuck is wrong with you? And like what a weird conversation starter. Sorry, I know this video is kind of long, but I think my point with all this is if you've ever had something like this happen to you, know that it's not just you, it's not your fault, it's humiliating, but it's not really something to be humiliated about. It wasn't your fault. It's gonna be okay, I promise. I live a very happy, fulfilling life now. This does not haunt me anymore the way that it used to. You're gonna be okay. If you do like longer story times, I have a very unfortunate amount of stories, not maybe as bad as this, but things similar. If you want me to talk about them, high school is a shit show, and if you're in high school, I can be like your high school big sister or something, I don't know. Anyways, come back to part 2 for the dinner outfit. Love you, bye.